Hi Stampin' friends! Tonight we're going to use the Marigold Moments stamp set and dies. It has some great sentiments. You might use the thanks and you have a heart of gold together, or maybe you would just use the you have a heart of gold. I mean, that's something you could say to a lot of people. And then it has a happy Mother's Day, which would also be sweet with the you have a heart of gold. So you can, I have tried to stay with somewhat traditional marigold colors, but you could pretend this is some kind of carnation and make it any color you want. There's nothing to say that this has to be actual marigolds. Now, one thing I also wanted to point out, in the dies, I think this is maybe the best set of leaves and stem that we've ever had, because it kind of just cuts a wonderful groove in there. And I like the detailed look of how it just looks so clean. Anyway, I just had to show you that because I liked it. So, one thing I wanted to show you, I got this cut too close. Hi Linda, great to see you. Thank you for hopping by. I got this too close, and I'm not able to use this tiny corner here. And I know that we have had several things that cut out sentiments. Like, you know, we have these dies that cut out the sentiment exactly, kind of like that. So when you have that happen, you can try to do that yourself as well. Just kind of cut around it. And I think the key to this is to not do too nice of a job. Just kind of barely cut around it. You can see I'm just kind of trying to think about other things so that I don't do it too well. I'm just kind of, and the main thing also, and I just messed that up, but the main thing also is to keep curves in your cutting. So just kind of something to think about when you have something stamped and you think you might want to use it, or maybe sometimes it's taking up too much space. And what this will do is allow the sentiment to be smaller. I'll show you just a second what I'm talking about with that. Sometimes these, especially these long ones that Stampin' Up! Is doing now, they really fill the card. And so you can get it to where you think, gosh, I need a smaller sentiment, and that's all I have to choose from. So here's what I was saying, this Happy Mother's Day, you know, it's cut out with one of our stitched rectangles, but this takes up a whole lot less of real estate on the front of your card because it's cut around and isn't quite so bulky. So, okay. So I've got a lot of different possibilities here, and I have a huge stack of card bases trying to decide what I want to show you, and I guess what's the most important. This one, I didn't do any fun folds, which would be wonderful with fun folds, but I was so obsessed with showing you all of the many different ways you can put these together that I didn't get around to a fun fold. Okay, so this you have a heart of gold I've cut out with a circle, so I think that'll make a nice focal point when we get to it. And then let me just kind of get started putting some things together, and then I'll come back again and show you some more things. One thing I wanted to kind of mention here is the maroon mums. But there are a lot of mums that are and this puts a big wide border around it, but just stamping with one of the stamps gives you white and the color that you've used. So in this case, I used the cherry cobbler, and it created just, this is one of the common ones that I see around here a lot. It's kind of like the petal has an edging of white around it with the maroon. That's a cool look. I don't know really what causes that, but it's kind of a cool look. Now this one, I had used Daffodil Delight, and because I wanted it to be orange, I used Pumpkin Pie. It ended up being muddy and not intense enough. So what this one is Daffodil Delight and Poppy Parade. And it makes it into an orange look. To me, I don't see red here. I see an orange one. So, and this is another common thing with marigolds is the orange-yellow tint to them. Okay, so there are I stamped a bunch of stems, and then I've die cut a bunch of stems, and then I've die cut a bunch of flowers. So you can see that this will be a lot of fun for me. Even after I'm finished with our live, I'll have some left to play with, I think. So there's the piece that is kind of like the background, and then there's the piece that's like a topper for it. And it's very obvious kind of where they belong. And then I get these little pieces here. I tried to do several different colors. Oops, I got a little bit of trash in there. So one thing my daughter and I were just discussing was whether or not it looks better to have the light on the dark. So in this case, it's the pumpkin pie with the pale papaya on top, or whether we liked the pumpkin pie with the pale papaya underneath. So that's kind of just something that you can kind of try to figure out for yourself. I'm not sure that it matters. It's kind of more of what looks good to you. Now, typically with these red ones, it is generally with the white on the outside. But this looks great too. So I don't know necessarily that it matters which way you do it. So let's get started with something. I couldn't really decide where to start and what to do. So let's just kind of put some things together and see what I feel like works. Okay, the first thing I wanted to do was a little bit of stamping. And I had a kind of a hard time fitting it in here in the space provided. So this is why I have this up here, because I didn't quite make it. I need to scoot this down just a little bit, and I need to scoot this over just a little bit. So let me find I'm using my Pear Pizzazz because it is, I guess you would say, over inked. When I go to use it, it kind of looks like Old Olive, and my Old Olive is kind of light. So I'm going to use my fully inked Pear Pizzazz for this. And I'm going to try to just almost get it off, and I may get it completely off, the edge down at the bottom to save room. There we go. Oh, I've gotten a little bit, nope, that's just smuts. Go away, miss. Okay. So now I'm getting the Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to use the solid image stamp. And you can do it either way. You can pop it down on top of it or the other direction. And then when you're going to put this here, what I've found to do is, I should have this upside down, but I don't know if I can do it. Okay, there's a little groove right in there, like a little U. And to me, I put that around this this particular leaf, and I think that gives it a kind of a place to be. And I should have gotten this a little further over, I see now, to the left, because I'm even worse off the side. So let me try this one more time. I have another one here. Go at this again. So I'm going to try to get this almost all the way off the side over here and down here. Okay. And now I'm back with this. I'm going to ink it one more time since it's been a minute. Excuse me. All right, let's see here. Try to keep it, well, I don't know. I think it's still going to go off a little bit. Let's see what I think there. Okay, well, I'm just going to go down with it and see what happens. Giving it plenty of time and pressing really hard. Okay, so there's that. And then I'm ready to put this one on, and I'm going to use my Poppy Parade. Get these guys out of my way. And I'll probably never get it stamped as nicely. But I have one that's cut out if we decide that I don't get it stamped well enough. Okay, so I'm just eyeballing this. And what I did was kind of try to see that I have the top part in the right place and the bottom part, and then left, kind of look at it left and right to see that it's, looks like it's mostly in the right place. Okay, gonna go for it. I can already tell that I didn't quite get it right, but it is somewhat forgiving. Yeah, there you go. Not bad at all. You can see the intensity of the color and how it just almost to me looks orange. It may look red to you, but to me it looks orange. So in this case, I would actually pop this on a bit of pumpkin pie. And you can disagree with me. I totally understand, but I just think that that really brings the oranginess out in it. So I like that together. So putting my card together, I'll show you my Happy Mother's Day situation. You could put it up here, you could put it down here. You've got lots of choices. But I do think if you were to put it across here, that the smaller look kind of keeps it from kind of becoming overwhelming. Now down here, you might have some issues where you kind of, oh, thank you guys, I appreciate it. I'm glad you like the card. You could put this with maybe some edging around it that would make it look more intense. You can also, when you're doing this, cut around some cardstock, some colored cardstock, and mat it on there. But anyway, that is one possibility with this. And then as far as adding ribbon, you know, I always like to use the little white taffeta and then color it with some Stampin' blends. And I think this is the perfect opportunity to either use like a light old olive or or maybe the pumpkin pie to color this and add ribbon. Because when I'm making a Mother's Day card, I don't know about you guys, I always like to add ribbon to a Mother's Day card. This is going to look great if you just pop it up on some yellow as well. And it's almost a totally different look. It looks like a completely different card when you put it on the yellow, and then because the yellow kind of comes forward. So that's just another possibility for you. I can't really decide for sure which one I find the prettiest. It's going to be, you know, your personal preference kind of thing. Okay, so I'm going to try to be real careful and not tear up my marker, because I have ruined several by coloring because I love to do this, and I think I get a little too crazy and I don't be careful. So I'm trying to be careful here. Just using a dimensional thing here so that it doesn't get too messy. So I want to be sure I have it all done. Then I'm going to just kind of set that aside and let it dry. And same with this. That won't dry for a long time, so I want to be very careful with that. So, okay, I'm feeling like it's done. I'm just going to tie, I think, a bow. I'm going to tie a generous bow. I don't know if I can, but try to. Because what I tend to do with these is I tie a little teeny tiny bow, and then it ends up not looking very generous. Well, and this one I didn't quite cut enough string on the end, but we'll figure it out. I should have tried to color it again. Okay, there's that and that. And it's fine on the yellow, but let's see it on the orange. Yeah, look how rich that looks now. So I really like that look. And then I was thinking about here that I might pop this on this color. And then to avoid, I'm not going to use this with it because I think I would make it into a Christmassy kind of a look. But I was imagining using the yellow and then the dark, well, if I can find it. I'm not seeing the dark cutout top. Maybe that's this one? Yeah, there we go. Is that like that? And then, where is my, here it is. I look at these and I can't tell which one I'm trying to grab. Okay, so then I would just put my piece like that. You could also go ahead and add another color if you wanted. Just make it kind of look like it's coming out of the ground. Let's see here, I'm doing this one. Actually, let's do it this way. Then you can kind of look at which one you prefer. There we are. Both of them on the same card. And then I would probably just pop my You Have a Heart of Gold. Oh, wow. What about putting it right there? I kind of like that. Like it's kind of coming out of the circle. And then I would probably put it on, let me get my yellow back, my Daffodil Delight card base. Although I think I grabbed So Saffron. So that might not be the way to go. But anyway, I think you get the idea with this one. What I'm going for is just kind of a die cut where there's so many, I think that using this die cut with the holes in it brings out the holes in the die cut floral pieces. Cherry cobbler. And then put that piece and this. And you do have to use a green sometimes. So you could use, this is something I don't usually do. Usually I match the intensity of my flower with the intensity of the stems. But either one of these stems, I think, looks surprising with this. This is the mint macaron with a cherry cobbler. This is the soft sea foam with a cherry cobbler. So as you can see, I think it keeps it from having that Christmas look that, I'm kind of trying to avoid. So then I would put my thank you there, like that. And what I would probably do is cut this and then layer it on whichever green that I decided to go with on this. So if you want to tell me, guys, which green you prefer, I'll use either the soft seafoam or the mint macaron for my card base when we're finished. So just let me know which one you think is most beautiful. And then also, yeah, I wanted to mention this as well. If you like this look, you don't necessarily have to, now this is actually on the Blackberry, no, not Blackberry Bliss. It was so dark. See, Mary Merlot. So if you like this look, you can just put those butt up together and leave the white inside. So if you're not wanting to cut out as much, this still looks like a beautiful flower. So just tell me which one of these greens you think I should use. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. All right, so one other thing I wanted to show you was putting these on. Oh wait, I think I was planning this with this one. I can't remember what I'm doing. Putting this as a card base with this layer, and then the cutout of the cards. Now this one, I think looks great, but this white one just really goes away. So I was imagining using that, and then this one is kind of too light, I thought. So when I stamped it in this color, I thought it had a little more contrast. Just kind of my opinion. And then you don't have to, you can put the leaf over it, like tuck it like that, if you think that looks more natural. Something like, you may. So that's kind of fun. I think Garden Green is one that really looks like a lot of leaves and plants. So you could put that one as your base, and then it's just kind of two different colors of green. And I think that is a good look too. And then you can add your thanks. So fun bun with that. And then I also just kind of wanted to mention using some pinks and yellows as well, because when I was looking for mums to kind of give me inspiration for what I wanted to use for this, I found one that was called, oh gosh, Strawberry Blonde. Yeah. So it had kind of a pink, orange, yellow tint. So I kind of wanted to mention that to you all as a possibility, because apparently that's like a thing in nature. So using like a petal pink with a So Saffron could be really pretty. Let's see, I don't know if I'm even getting it. Yeah, there you go. To just kind of look like yellow and pink. So I thought that was kind of a plan on that. And then maybe with this one, and show it as the under part being the light pink, the light petal pink, and the other being the So Saffron. So tons of choices. I'm going to have a lot of fun putting all these together. So to kind of do a little bit of a recap, we had the card here with the thanks and cutout. And then I think we'll want to use this one too, because I think that'll be really pretty. And we had several others. Oh yeah, that was another one I thought was pretty, was the pale papaya with the pumpkin pie. And actually, I think in this one, I actually think I do like the pumpkin pie as the cutout and the pale papaya behind. Just my opinion on that one. I think this looks way better. And then we had this one where we were deciding between the mint macaron or the soft sea foam. And we still were using the thanks, that one. And then we had our You Have a Heart of Gold with our So Saffron and our crushed curry. And then our original one that we stamped. We can put this around the stems down here. I would need to trim that up just a little bit and kind of work on pulling it. You know, you can work with a bow forever until you get it like you want it. But a lot of times I think I spend as much time getting my bow like I want it as I do the rest of the cards sometimes. But I would trim those just a little bit more. And then adding our little Happy Mother's Day. Anyway, probably it would be really hard for me not to get out my Wink of Stella and add more sparkle and shine to a lot of these. One thing I would do is let it dry just a minute, because you don't want to cause any muddiness on these yellow and orange ones, or yellow and Poppy Parade, because you know, I want that to be a really nice contrast. I appreciate you all watching, and I hope that you find something that you enjoy in this set. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.